You ready? Once, there was a cruel father who had 2 kids. He was called Mad Mikola.
He was a miller, but he made the kids do all of the work. Where do you think their mom was?
There are never moms in these stories. Come on, keep going.
The girl and the boy worked so hard that one night, they fainted.
Mad Mikola found them lying on the floor, and he threw them both into the mill.
Then he thought, who's going to do all the work for him?
So he went into the village, stole more children, he killed them, cut them up, and took their bits and pieces to the loom.
And stitched all their bloody dead parts into one huge, strong, creepy thing.
The Patchwork Man. But it turned, and it ripped Mad Mikola to shreds.
Then it went out into the world, but its body kept falling apart.
So to this day, the Patchwork Man wanders the streets looking for children to kill, to cut up, and to sew into himself.
We're on a new world now. New lives. Stop complaining. Why can't you just be grateful? Just once, hmm? You know what your problem is. You don't know how to be appreciative for what you have.
I'm sorry, Jacob. I am so lucky. You're right. I'll be better.
I don't care what you do. Just stop complaining.
We stick together, Ray. Never face the monsters alone.
All right. Oh, good morning.
Good morning.
How's it out there in California?
It's a little bit windy. The sun is out. It's when it's windy and it's warm at the same time right now.
Well, it's better than here. It's cold and wet.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah, we make do over here. Fortunately, I think we got snow in a few days.
Where are you speaking to us from, Amari?
I'm speaking to you from New Jersey, actually.
Oh.
Yeah. And let's get right into it. When did you get into acting and what inspired you to do so?
I've gotten into acting I started out as modeling,
Mm-hmm.
but Altered Carbon was like the first big acting job I've done. So I started acting about a year and a half ago.
Yeah,
and I noticed that on your IMDb page, you also did some work on American Housewife.
Yeah, I had a small part. I just said a little line.
Hey, little things build up to bigger things like Altered Carbon. And has life changed for you at all since it came out about a week ago?
No, it's really the same. Before it came out, I was just super excited. Each time it got closer to February 2nd, I got more and more ecstatic.
And you mentioned you did modeling. Did you also do like school productions and things of that nature, or was it modeling and then you just transitioned into acting?
I'm homeschooled, so we don't have like school plays or stuff like that. A long time ago, I was in something called CMT. It's Children's Musical Theater, and I just had a little, really small part.
So do you sing as well, or is it just straight acting?
Yeah, I sing as well. I play guitar too, and my mom takes me to open mics.
Okay. And what was it like auditioning for Altered Carbon? What's the process when it comes to that?
It's complicated yet simple. So first, I have an agent, and of course my agent called us one day, last summer in fact.
Whoa.
She told us that there is a role she think would be fit for me. So we went down to Los Angeles for that audition, and that was just a really perfect day. No traffic, free parking. I auditioned, and the next thing you know, I got a call back for an on-screen test in Vancouver. So they flew us down to Vancouver for that, and then I booked the job, and that was the best day of my life.
And did you screen test with Morgan, who plays your brother Takeshi, or was it by yourself?
Yeah, we did with him.
Okay.
So it's also called a chemistry test. For example, say he was marvelous and I was divine, and then we're mixed together. We make an explosion of awesomeness.
I love it. And what was it like to be on set when it comes to the job? You said you did your test last summer, so I'm assuming like fall, winter you guys were filming?
No, it was still in the summertime, actually.
You moved quickly.
It was quite fast. So it was like 2 weeks later. We got the call back, and then 2 weeks later we went down to Vancouver. Up to Vancouver.
And how was it on set when it came to doing everything, especially considering, how old are you, Riley?
10.
So considering you're a 10-year-old and you're on a set, and also what you're dealing with as part of Rei's situation deals a lot with the abuse her parents were going through. How was that for you?
Well, they did tell me, and I also know that it's all fake. But I had to watch it. It was very helpful because I have a better understanding of what's going on, and me as an actress, it helps me act better.
It definitely did. Sorry.
What?
I definitely would have to agree with you because I was just watching your demo reel to prepare for this since I see it's on IMDb now, and for some reason I was starting to cry. I was like, oh, this is just 5 minutes. Why am I weeping like this?
Yes, because that's what acting is really about. Not only you have to study your character, you have to study everyone else's so you know how to act around them.
And it's good that you brought that up. Did you ever get to work with your older counterpart, Deechan Lockman, at all?
No, although I wish we did. We met in a dressing room and we just talked about Raylene Kawahara in general. But I wish we did some scenes together because she seems really fun to work with.
Yes, I've seen her in past sci-fi productions, and she always seemed like really on and friendly with everybody else, especially in interviews.
Yeah.
Now, considering that we're not sure what's going on for season 2, has there been any kind of talks with you about continuing Rei's story at all, especially in terms of a time in an orphanage or else working, or rather being raised by the Yakuza?
No, I don't know anything yet. Although, if I were to act that out, I would be happy to. More than happy to, in fact. I can tell that Raylene, she has mixed emotions. She's probably angry. She's probably sad. She probably wants vengeance. And for them to recreate someone's childhood, I would find that very captivating.
And kind of slowly stepping away from Alter Carbon, where do you see for your career, like, whose career do you look at and say, that's kind of the blueprint of what I want to do?
Probably Natalie Portman. Not only she started out in a really young age, but she's also very smart. She got a college degree, and she's a great actress. I want a college degree.
So would you perhaps want to do mostly mature roles, like not try to do the Disney route or anything like that?
Well, it depends on where it takes me.
So just kind of building off of that, so would you perhaps want to transition to movies instead of doing television, or you want to do a mix of both?
Probably both. A mix of both.
And just for an example, what TV show on right now would you like to either have like a guest starring role or maybe like do a full arc on?
Well, not a show in particular, but I'd probably want to be in an animation show or movie. Just the fact of taking a facial expression and putting it into words, because it's a voiceover, unless they edit your face and put it onto that body, but that's ridiculous. Well, yeah, we don't really watch TV much. We don't have cable. We just watch on Netflix.
Wow. And venturing outside of acting, what are your other hobbies? You mentioned modeling is one time something you do. You play music with guitar. Anything else?
I've been doing martial arts for, yes, a year and a half now. And that's really good for self-defense. I also really enjoy writing during my free time. It's also my favorite subject in schooling. And just to put your imagination onto paper and making it so intricate is really fun to do for me.
And considering you're homeschooled, have you thought about making like short films or stuff like that at home?
Yes. Like stop motion, but I don't know how to do that is the thing. I find apps in the app store to do stop motion, but it's really complicated for me.
Well, all things considered, between what you've already experienced with Alter Carbon, how to run a set, your writing, being homeschooled, which means your mother and father have the ability to kind of craft your curriculum the way you want to, you could learn it probably in no time, especially with YouTube and like you said, so many apps giving you the option to learn this or that.
Yeah.
And that leads me to my next question. When I was speaking with your mom, going back and forth by email, it was mentioned that you don't have social media, right?
Yeah, I don't.
Considering social media has kind of become like having a face shot, why is that?
Well, we're probably not going to have social media anytime soon. We don't want anything too personal. If we do get it, we're probably just going to do some scenes of me or on sets or we at open mic. My brother does some pretty funny stuff, so we might probably do that too.
It's a very good question, and it's one that friends and family ask all the time, Samari. So it's a very fair question, and we treat the concept of social media very, very, very seriously, especially as a family, and definitely for young people. I'm part of an older generation, you might say, old school, and one of the things that we're very sensitive to is privacy, and appropriateness of media consumption. And I think there's a lot of good things that are happening in the world today because of media, but at the same time, I also think that there are a lot of bad things that's happening today because of media. And there's a fine balance that needs to be struck between between those two conflicting forces. And so for us, it's a combination of age appropriateness. And we're not, maybe to a fault, not looking at this as a business proposition at this stage, because Riley is still so young. I mean, she was just 9 years old when she was first on set at Alter Carbon, and before that, 8.5, 9 was some of the other stuff that you had done. So we definitely don't want it to come across as being exploitive. We definitely don't want it to come across as overexposure also. So it's going to be a very managed, if you will, approach to social media, and take all of the positives from it, if you will, and try to contain and isolate as much of the negative factors as possible.
Have you thought of maybe instead of joining Facebook, Twitter, something like that, just having her own website?
Yeah, I mean, those are all things worth considering. Absolutely. That's a very controlled ecosystem. So, that could be part of the equation as well. So, yeah, we're definitely giving all those things equal consideration.
All right. And just to kind of wrap up the interview, what will be next for Riley in terms of her career? You mentioned modeling, there's music, possibly short films. Is there anything coming up for people to look forward to?
Well, we're just waiting for, in fact, yeah.
Well, I mean, you can tell them what you do week to week.
Yes, open mic. That just gives me something to be more comfortable in front of an audience and to build up confidence. Yes, confidence.
Are you comfortable enough with saying where you do open mic, or that would be a bit much?
I go to one in Mountain View. That's somewhere around San Jose. It's called Red Rock. That's a really good one. That one's probably my favorite. And then another one in San Jose is Hub's Coffee.
It's very difficult to find.
Yeah, it's hard to find one where they allow all ages, because when there's open mic, it's usually at a bar, so it's 21 and older.
Yeah, and that's not for another 11 years.
Yeah, so we go to the coffee shops, and there are a handful of them in the Bay Area, and 10 times out of 10, 9 times out of 10, Riley is the youngest performer, but she's a regular at these places, so they know her, and definitely, we know that she's not going to embarrass herself, she's not going to embarrass the store, and she's respectful of the other artists as well, so and respectful of the audience, and that they're not going to be wasting their time. So yeah, she puts on a good show.
Okay, well, a bit far for me to travel to see it in person, but I do hope that once it gets figured how you're going to handle the future of Riley's career, that we can see some online, either through YouTube, her own website, or other methods.
You bet. Yep, I think those are all great things to come, and we're looking forward to sharing that.
As am I. And I thank you for your time and opportunity to talk to you. I know you have something else to do with your day, and we had some technical issues, and I'm glad that we was able to sort them all out.
Yeah, not 100% ideal, but thanks for your patience as well, and I'm glad we're able to connect, so stay in touch.
Thank you.
I certainly will. Thank you for your time, and have a good day.
All right,
have a great
bye,
rest of your day. Bye.
You too.